So today we're going to talk about Samsung's digital security challenge. Presenters Dingming and Arbaz. Here's the table of our content, including 6 parts. So the first part, Samsung Company Overview. Samsung was founded in 1938 in South Korea and is a leading multinational technology company in the electrical and electronics sector. It operates in over 80 countries, with a diversified portfolio that spans semiconductors like chips, memory, processors, home consumer electronics like smartphones, tablets, televisions, home appliances, IT and mobile communications like 5G, AI, smart devices, and other consumer electronics. According to Samsung's vision, inspire the world, create the future. Samsung focuses on driving innovation that improves lives and builds a connected, intelligent future. Samsung's mission is to devote all the talents and technology to creating superior products and services that contribute to a better global society. The second part, security and privacy breach. Despite its technological prowess, Samsung encountered a significant digital setback in 2023 when a cyber attack caused a data breach, including the leakage of sensitive consumer data, sensitive employee information, and proprietary source codes. Here are list examples of Samsung data breach. Cybercriminal group lapses bribed Samsung employees, gained access to internal systems, and leaked 190 GB of data, including source code, security tools, and internal documentation. About analysis of these cases, the root causes of this security failure can be traced to external and internal managing vulnerabilities. Externally, Samsung's internal supply chain is increasingly becoming a massive attack. In this case, Samsung experienced a data breach by an unauthorized hacker group lapses through a vulnerability in a third-party app used by Samsung in its supply chain in November 2023. The breach affected consumers, causing the leakage of these consumers' personal information, such as names, phone numbers, and addresses, showing Samsung's lack of threat detection in its administration system. Internally, an accidental leak of sensitive internal source code by an engineer at Samsung, who uploaded the code to ChatGPT. Also, the severity of the leak remains unclear. Samsung was banned from using OpenAI immediately, illustrating Samsung was bad at training employees about how they should perform correctly when they used information technology. We further analyzed employees had unrestricted access to critical systems, no zero trust architecture to validate access continuously, lack of real-time monitoring allows the breach to go unnoticed. Lastly, over-reliance on perimeter-based security. Here goes on strategic solution, SIEM, to prevent data breaches. So you may ask, what is SIEM? To mitigate such risks in the future, the deployment of a security information and event management SIEM system is recommended. By using tools like Splunk, IBM QRadar, and Microsoft Sentinel, the SIEM system is capable of collecting and analyzing log data, detects threats, raises alerts, and supports incident response and centralizes visibility across system users and networks across an organization's digital infrastructure continuously. So how SIEM benefits Samsung? Identifies insider threats and unusual login behavior, enables real-time monitoring of access and system events, strengthens data protection and regulatory compliance, finally supports long-term digital security strategy. Thus, a SIEM provider, Microsoft Sentinel, can be the benefit best fit in this case. Here are some key capabilities aligned with Samsung's challenges. AI-powered threat detection across all systems. Check insider threats like credential misuse. Built-in store automates and speeds up response. Monitor third-party vendor risks. Seamless connection with Azure M365 and Defender used by Samsung. Well, specific security measures taken by Samsung were not detailed. We suggest that a comprehensive SIEM system would collect and analyze data across Samsung's infrastructure, enabling early threat detection and rapid response capabilities. So here is my part.
Okay, now moving on to the next parts, internal threats. So for the internal threats, we focus on employees misusing their access to system and data. This can happen unintentionally by falling for phishing emails or intentionally by sabotage or data theft. This is quite a big risk because employees can bypass security parameters, so they're undetectable. And the impact is also quite big as it can lead to loss of sensitive data and can disrupt the whole system of Samsung. It also weakens the overall system resilience. One example of an unintentional misuse is employees received fake emails, which asked them to verify the login details by Samsung IT department. But it was not really Samsung IT department, just came from an external email, and people still did that. So their data got stolen. Next one. So for the external threats, we focused on cyber criminal attacks, as we already mentioned before, by hackers. But it can also happen by other individuals or groups who want to target Samsung. They can use tactics include phishing emails, malware injections with phishing emails, ransomware, bribery of Samsung employees, and they can also exploit software vulnerabilities, such as loopholes within the security system. This malicious activity corrupts data integrity and also disables detection tools. So this can lead to data breaches, downtime of the system, financial losses, and can also damage the reputation of Samsung. One example was already given before was the group Lapsus, who bribed Samsung employees for the login details, then used these login details to allow themselves unauthorized to access internal system and sensitive data and steal them. Next one. So to prevent these kind of things, Samsung can focus on zero trust security model, employee cybersecurity training, SIEM with SOAR integration, regular security testing and security audits, and hiring and retaining cybersecurity talent. Let's go step by step. Next. So zero trust security model. What does it do and what is it? So every time a user, device, or system wants to access Samsung's Samsung system, it needs to prove their identity. So every time like an employee needs to log in, it needs to prove, okay, who are they? This can be quite annoying because it is like a continuous authentication, which we also have like in university sometimes, like with Okta, for example. But it also reduces the chances of external parties to get access to Samsung's files. And it also breaks down the network into smaller zones. So every time you need to enter like a new zone, for example, you work in marketing, you want something from sales, you need to enter like some sales data, you need to ask for permission. So the system knows who has access to what zone, so it can trace it back. This reduces risks, both insiders and from hackers, and it also prevents attackers from moving freely within the system itself. Next. Employee cybersecurity training. So why is it so important? Because employees are often the weakest link in a digital security because most cyber attackers rely on human errors, for example, like clicking on phishing emails. So what Samsung should do is focus on training the employees by recognizing phishing attempts to make sure that they use strong, secure passwords and that the employees knows how to proper handle sensitive files and emails so they don't just like upload them on ChatGPT. And how it should be delivered is basically by simulating attacks like phishing, sending out fake phishing emails, micro learning modules, for example, LinkedIn Learning, and having regular workshops by professionals. On the long term, this can increase awareness and reduces mistakes made by employees, and it builds a strong cybersecurity culture across Samsung itself. Next. So now let's focus on the SIEM with SOAR integration. So we already talked about these two systems. So the SIEM tracks and logs all digital activities and identifies suspicious behavior using real-time alerts, while the SOAR responds automatically to certain threats. So combining these two security measures, we can achieve a 24/7 monitors without relying on human observation. And it also automates repetitive security actions against some certain threats. So it can make it faster to detect threats and take action against them and reduce the burden on IT and security team. Next. So for regular security testing and security audits, this is quite important. Samsung can use ethical hackers who try break into the system to find any weaknesses or hidden spots within this security system itself. And also, Samsung should do regular checks to make sure Samsung follows the best practices when it comes to securing the data. So this should be at least conducted twice a year, and all the security systems should be updated once a month at least. So why does it matter? Because this can make Samsung's defense strong against outsider threats, and it ensures compliance with global security standards like ISO and GDPR. Next one. Hiring and retaining cybersecurity talent. So what Samsung needs is security analysts, ethical hackers, and infrastructure designers to keep their system secure against outside threats. So how can they attract it? They can create a healthy work environment and offer certificates for these workers and also competitive salaries. So they would choose Samsung over other competitors. And why it matters is because skilled professionals can adapt and evolve to evolving threats, and humans provide judgment and creativity where machines can't. So for long-term, stronger incident response for threats, and a team ready to grow and secure Samsung's digital future. Next. Now coming to the conclusion. Samsung faces some external and internal threats, as we discussed before, like the lapsus attacks exploited by third-party vulnerability, or accidentally leaking some sources like logging details by employees. For that, Samsung can use a security roadmap, which we have developed here. So they can implement a zero trust architecture in the system, integrate the SIEM and the SOAR system together to make automated responses, can invest in employee cybersecurity training so employees know what phishing emails are and how to detect them, create a proactive defense strategy by regular security testing and security audits, and hiring and retaining top security talents. So Samsung has the needs to secure itself. On the long run, this enhances threat detection and responses, makes compliance stronger and also the resilience of the system itself, and cultivates a robust security culture. So, in conclusion, by integrating advanced technologies, fostering employee awareness, and investing in talents, Samsung can build a secure, future-ready digital ecosystem. Thank you for listening to the presentation. So next one. Yeah, and in our last slide, we mentioned our references, so you can trace it back where we got our information from. Thank you very much.